Sam's phone started vibrating on the table like it had a mind of its own. Unknown number. He stared at it as if it could bite him. His room was quiet, too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes you hear your own heart beating. Outside, the night air of Lagos carried far sounds. A generator humming, a dog barking once, then silence again. Sam swallowed. He had not saved the number, but he knew who it was, because only one kind of call could make his hands shake this way. Only one kind of call could make a poor taxi driver feel like his small, tired life was about to be turned upside down. Sam picked up. "Hello?" he said, trying to sound normal. For a second, there was only breathing on the other end. Slow, controlled breathing, like the person was thinking carefully. Then a woman's voice came on, calm but sharp. "Is this Sam, the taxi driver?" Sam's throat went dry. "Yes," he said, "this is Sam." The voice paused. "This is Jessica," the woman said. Sam's stomach dropped like a stone. Jessica, not a friend, not a neighbor, not a random customer. Jessica, the billionaire CEO of Jessy Group of Companies. The name that lived on billboards and news headlines. The woman people in Lagos spoke about like she was a legend. Sam's lips parted but no sound came out. Then Jessica spoke again, and her voice sounded colder now. "I want to see you," she said. "Tonight." Sam almost dropped the phone. Tonight," he stammered. Mom. "There is no need to panic," Jessica cut in. "Just tell me where you are. Someone will pick you up." Sam looked around his one-room apartment, his old foam mattress on the floor, his small fan that worked only when NEPA decided to be kind, the cracked cup by the window. His chest tightened. Why would a billionaire want to see him at night? Had he done something wrong? Had the staff at that mansion lied? Was Madam Olivia not really who she claimed to be? Sam's mind raced. "Mom," he finally managed, did something happen to the old woman, Madam Olivia?" There was a short silence. Then Jessica's voice turned softer for 1 second, just 1 second. "My mother is fine," she said, "but there are things I need to confirm, things I need to understand." Sam's body went stiff. Confirm? Understand? His skin prickled with fear. "Please," Sam whispered, "I did not mean any harm. I only helped her because she was crying at my door." Jessica didn't answer that. Instead, she said, "Where do you live?" Sam hesitated. If he told her, would police come? Would his landlord hear the sirens? Would his neighbors start gossiping? But then he remembered Madam Olivia's face, tired, wet with tears and full of fear. He remembered how she held his wrist when he tried to walk away, like a child afraid of darkness. Sam took a deep breath and gave Jessica his address. "Good," Jessica said. "Stay where you are. Do not go anywhere." The call ended, and the silence returned, heavier than before. Sam stood there for a long time with the phone still in his hand. His legs felt weak. Then he whispered to himself, "God, what did I get myself into?" Earlier that same day, Sam had been thinking of nothing except rest. Not money, not dreams, just rest. His body was tired in a way only people who hustle from morning till night understand. The kind of tired that sits inside your bones. The kind that makes you feel older than your age. Sam's yellow taxi had been running on stubbornness. The engine was noisy, and sometimes the car shook like it wanted to fall apart. But it was all he had. And in Lagos, if you don't hustle, you don't eat. That day had been extra hard. Traffic, rude passengers. One man even refused to pay full price, shouting at Sam like Sam was the thief. By the time evening came, Sam's eyes were burning, his shoulders ached. All he wanted was to go home, drink water, and sleep. Sam turned into his community, an area with small houses, uneven roads, and children playing near gutters like it was normal. The streetlights were weak, but the place felt familiar. It was where he could breathe. Sam parked his taxi and walked toward his door, digging into his pocket for his key. But then he stopped. Someone was sitting there, right in front of his door. A woman, an old woman. She sat on the ground with her back against the wall, her knees pulled close, her head bowed. Her clothes looked dusty and tired. Her hair was grey and messy. And when she lifted her face, Sam saw tears shining on her cheeks. Sam's first reaction was fear. In Lagos, you learn fast. Sometimes someone at your door is not a blessing. Sometimes it is trouble. Sam's body tensed. His mind flashed through warnings he had heard since he was a boy. Do not talk to strangers at night. People set traps. If anything happens, police will ask questions. Sam almost turned away. Almost. But then the old woman made a small sound. Not loud, not dramatic. Just a weak sob, like a person trying not to cry too much. Sam froze. Something about that sob hit him. It did not sound fake. It sounded like pain. Sam sighed. He walked closer slowly and bent down, keeping a safe distance. "Ma," he said gently, "are you okay?" The old woman looked up like she was surprised he could see her. Her eyes were red, her lips trembled. Then she spoke in a shaky voice. "My son," she whispered. Sam's heart pulled. "I am not your son," he said softly, "but I can help you. What is your name?" The old woman wiped her face with the edge of her wrapper. "Olivia," she said. "Madam Olivia." Sam nodded. "Okay, Madam Olivia, why are you here? This is my house." Madam Olivia began to cry again. This time she cried harder. Sam panicked. "No, no, please," he said. "Don't cry like that. People will come out and start asking questions." Madam Olivia shook her head, tears falling. "They took me," she whispered. Sam's stomach tightened. "Who took you?" "Kidnappers," Madam Olivia said, her voice breaking. "They took me from in front of my daughter's house. They covered my eyes. They kept me for 1 week. 1 week." Sam's breath caught. Kidnapping was not a small word in Lagos. It was not a movie thing. It was real. Sam looked around, nervous now. "Madam," he said carefully, "are you sure you are safe? Are they not following you?" Madam Olivia shook her head slowly. "They dropped me," she said, "and drove away. They pushed me out like I was nothing." Sam frowned. "Why would they drop you?" Madam Olivia swallowed, her chest rising and falling fast. "I think they could not get money," she whispered. "Or something happened. I don't know. I only know I woke up near this community. I walked until I could not walk again." Sam stared at her, shocked. "But why my door?" he asked. "Why did you come here?" Madam Olivia looked ashamed. "I did not know where I was," she said. "I only saw light. I only saw houses. I begged some people, but they turned away. One man shouted at me. One woman closed her gate. I sat here because I was tired." Sam's fear softened into pity. He rubbed his face, tired and stressed. "Okay," he said. "Where is your family? You said your daughter." Madam Olivia's eyes brightened for a second. "Yes, my daughter," she said quickly. "She lives in a big mansion, a very big mansion, on Banana Island." Sam blinked. Banana Island. That place was like another world. Sam had driven past it once, and it felt like the streets were made for rich people only. Sam looked at the old woman again. She didn't look like the mother of someone who lived in Banana Island. But then again, kidnapping can ruin anyone's appearance. "Madam Olivia," Sam asked slowly, "what is your daughter's name?" Madam Olivia hesitated, like she was afraid to say it. Then she said, "Jessica." Sam's eyebrows shot up. "Jessica," he repeated. "Jessica, what?" Madam Olivia swallowed hard. "Jessica, the owner of Jessy Group," she whispered. Sam's world tilted. He stared at her like she had just said she was the president's mother. "Madam," he said, his voice low, "are you sure?" Madam Olivia nodded quickly. "Yes," she said, "she is my daughter. I only need to go back. I only need to see her house again, but I don't know the way. I can't locate it." Sam stood up slowly, his brain spinning. This was too big, too dangerous. If this woman was lying, he could get into trouble. If she was telling the truth, he could still get into trouble. Sam looked at his taxi, looked at the old woman, looked at the dark street. He could have done what many people would do. He could have turned his key, entered his room, and locked the door. He could have said, "Not my problem." But he didn't. Sam exhaled. "Madam Olivia," he said gently, "can you stand?" Madam Olivia tried. Her knees shook. Sam quickly held her elbow. She was light, too light, like she hadn't eaten well. "I will help you," Sam said. Madam Olivia's eyes widened. You will?" Sam nodded. "Yes. I will take you to Banana Island. Madam Olivia looked like she wanted to speak, but couldn't. Then she started crying again, but this time it was relief. Sam guided her into his yellow taxi and climbed in. As he drove, he kept checking his mirror. His heart was beating too fast, because deep inside, Sam felt like he had just stepped into something that could change his life forever. Or destroy it. When they finally reached Banana Island, the guards stopped them, suspicious. Sam explained. Madam Olivia spoke, crying and begging. And after a tense wait, one staff member came out, stared at Madam Olivia and gasped. "Oh my God," the staff whispered. "Madam Olivia." Sam's hands tightened on the steering wheel. The staff turned and shouted for others. People rushed out. Phones were raised. Voices rose. Sam watched as the staff helped Madam Olivia out, treating her like someone important. Then the staff looked at Sam with shocked eyes. "Sir," the staff said, "do you know who you brought here?" Sam's mouth felt dry. He didn't answer, because he suddenly realized something. If this woman was truly the mother of billionaire Jessica, then someone had kidnapped her, and someone had dropped her at his door, which meant someone might also be watching him. Sam took a slow breath, ready to quietly leave, but just as he turned his key, Madam Olivia grabbed his hand through the open window. Her fingers were shaking. "My son," she said softly, "tell me your number." Sam froze. "Madam, please," she begged, "I need to reach you. You saved me. I need to thank you properly." Sam hesitated, then gave her his phone number. Madam Olivia repeated it like she was trying to lock it inside her memory. Then she looked into his eyes and whispered something that made Sam's stomach twist again. "They will come back," Madam Olivia said, voice trembling. "The people who took me, they will come back." Sam's blood turned cold. Before he could ask what she meant, the staff pulled Madam Olivia away quickly, as if they didn't want her to say more. The mansion gate closed behind them, and Sam drove away into the Lagos night with one terrifying thought in his head. Who were they? And why would they come back? Sam did not sleep that night. Even when he lay on his thin mattress, eyes closed, his mind refused to rest. Every small sound made him open his eyes again. The bark of a dog, the buzz of a mosquito, the distant horn of a car. Madam Olivia's voice kept replaying in his head. "They will come back." Sam turned on his side and stared at the cracked ceiling. "God," he whispered, "what did I enter?" He had only tried to help an old woman. That was all. He had not asked for money. He had not asked for praise. He had only listened to his heart. Yet now his chest felt tight, like he was standing in the middle of a storm. He did not understand. When morning finally came, Sam dragged himself up and prepared for work. Hunger sat in his stomach, but fear was louder. Still, he went out. In Lagos, fear does not pay rent. He washed his face, grabbed his car keys, and stepped outside. Nothing had changed. The same dusty street, the same neighbors, the same yellow taxi waiting for him. For a second, Sam wondered if everything from the night before had been a dream. But then his phone vibrated. Sam froze. Unknown number. Again. His fingers trembled as he picked up. "Hello," he said. "Sam," a woman's voice said calmly. "Good morning." Sam's heart skipped. "Yes," he replied. "Who is this?" "This is Jessica." Sam leaned against his car so he wouldn't fall. Jessica, the billionaire, the daughter of the old woman he had rescued. Good morning, Ma," Sam said quickly. "I heard everything," Jessica said, "from my staff, from the doctors, from my mother." Sam held his breath. "And?" he asked quietly. There was a pause on the line, a long one. "My mother said she was dropped in front of your house," Jessica said slowly. "Is that true?" "Yes, Ma," Sam answered. "She was sitting at my door crying. I did not know who she was at first." Another pause. "And you did not call the police?" Jessica asked. Sam swallowed. "No, Ma," he said honestly. "I only thought she needed help. She was scared. She was tired." Jessica did not respond immediately. Sam felt like he was standing before a judge. "My mother said you drove her all the way to Banana Island," Jessica continued. "At night, after working all day." "Yes, Ma." "And you did not ask for money?" "No, Ma." The silence returned again. Then Jessica spoke, her voice different now, less sharp, more thoughtful. Sam, she said, do you know how many people saw my mother and walked away? Sam closed his eyes. I don't know, Ma, he replied. A lot, Jessica said. Too many. Sam did not know what to say. I want to meet you, Jessica said again. Properly, not on the phone. Sam's heart began to race. Ma, did I do something wrong? He asked. Jessica let out a soft breath. No, she said, you did something rare. Sam did not understand. Send me your location, Jessica said. Someone will come for you. Before Sam could reply, the call ended. Sam stood there for a long time, staring at his phone. This time, fear mixed with something else. Curiosity. The black SUV arrived less than an hour later. It did not look like it belonged on Sam's street. Neighbors stopped to stare. Children pointed. Sam wiped his hands on his trousers, nervous. A tall man stepped out, dressed neatly. Are you Sam? The man asked. Yes, Sam replied. Please come with me, the man said politely. Madam Jessica is waiting. Sam locked his door and followed the man into the SUV. As they drove away, Sam watched his community disappear behind him. He felt like he was crossing from one world into another. They passed clean roads, tall gates, shiny buildings. Sam's heart pounded harder with every turn. Finally, they stopped in front of a glass building so big Sam had to tilt his head to see the top. Jessy Group headquarters. Sam's mouth went dry. Inside, everything smelled clean and expensive. People walked fast, holding files and tablets. Some glanced at Sam, then looked away. Sam felt small. The man led him into a quiet office. Please wait here, the man said. Sam sat on the edge of the chair, his back straight, hands on his knees. Minutes passed, then the door opened. Jessica walked in. She was tall, confident, and calm. Her clothes were simple but elegant. Her eyes were sharp, but not cruel. Sam stood up immediately. Good morning, Ma, he said. Jessica looked at him carefully from head to toe. So you are Sam, she said. Yes, Ma. She motioned for him to sit. You can sit, she said. Sam obeyed. For a moment, neither of them spoke. Then Jessica said, My mother is resting now. Doctors say she will be fine. Sam released a breath he did not know he was holding. Thank God, he said softly. Jessica nodded. She told me everything, Jessica continued, how you bent down to speak to her, how you listened, how you helped her stand. Sam looked down. I only did what I could, he said. Jessica leaned forward slightly. Most people don't, she replied. That sentence hit Sam harder than he expected. Sam, Jessica said, do you know what my company does? Yes, Ma, Sam said. You do logistics, oil services, construction, and transport. Jessica raised her eyebrow. You know a lot for a taxi driver, she said. Sam gave a small smile. I studied transport management in school, he said. But as life happened. Jessica studied him closely now. What degree? She asked. Bachelor's degree, Ma, Sam replied. I graduated, but I couldn't get a good job. Jessica leaned back. Interesting, she said. She paused, then said, I want you to come and work for me. Sam's heart jumped. Ma, he asked. I need someone honest, Jessica said. Someone who understands the road. Someone who will not sell their conscience. Sam shook his head slightly. Ma, I am only a driver, he said. I didn't say driver, Jessica interrupted. Sam looked up. I want you as head of logistics, Jessica said calmly. The words did not make sense at first. Then they did. Sam's ears rang. Ma, I don't understand, he whispered. You have the education, Jessica said. You have experience, and you have character. Sam's chest felt tight. But people will talk, Sam said. They will say I don't belong there. Jessica's eyes hardened. Let them talk, she said. I own the company. Sam's mouth opened, then closed. This was too fast, too big. I need time, Sam said carefully. You will have it, Jessica replied. But think well. She stood up. My mother wants to see you later, Jessica added. She insists. Sam nodded slowly. As he stood to leave, Jessica said something that made his steps stop. Sam, she said softly, do you know why the kidnappers dropped my mother near your area? Sam turned. No, Ma. Jessica's eyes darkened. Because someone close to us betrayed us, she said. And we don't know who yet. A chill ran through Sam. And now, Jessica continued, anyone connected to my mother's rescue is at risk. Sam's heart sank. You mean me? He asked. Jessica did not answer. She only said, be careful. Sam left the building with his mind spinning. He had walked in as a poor taxi driver. He walked out as a man standing at the edge of something dangerous. As he reached the gate, his phone buzzed again. This time, it was a message from an unknown number. Unknown. You should not have helped her. Sam's blood ran cold. He looked around quickly. The street looked normal. People walked, cars passed, but Sam suddenly felt watched. He typed with shaking fingers. Sam, who is this? The reply came almost instantly. Unknown. Stay away from that family. Sam's phone slipped from his hand. And in that moment, Sam understood one terrifying truth. Helping Madam Olivia had not only changed his life, it had marked him. Sam did not go home immediately after reading the message. You should not have helped her. Stay away from that family. The words burned into his mind like fire. He stood outside the Jessy Group headquarters for a long time, pretending to scroll through his phone, while his eyes quietly watched everything around him. Every black car that passed made his heart jump. Every stranger who slowed down made his chest tighten. For the first time in his life, Sam felt hunted. Calm down, he whispered to himself. You are just a poor driver. Why would anyone be watching you? But deep inside, he knew that was no longer true. He had crossed a line. That evening, Sam returned to his community much later than usual. He did not use his taxi to carry passengers. He drove straight home, checking his mirror again and again. When he finally parked and stepped out, his neighbor, Mama Bose, waved at him. Sam, she called. You came late today, oh? Sam forced a smile. Yes, Mama. Work was much. She looked at him closely. You look worried. Is everything okay? Sam nodded quickly. Yes, Ma. Just tired. Mama Bose shook her head. This Lagos life, it will finish us. Sam laughed weakly and went inside. He locked his door carefully. Then he leaned against it and breathed out. His room felt smaller than before. He checked his phone again. No new messages, but peace did not return. That night, Sam dreamed of Madam Olivia screaming his name while dark figures dragged her away. He woke up sweating, his heart racing. He sat up and whispered, God, protect me. The next morning, Sam's phone rang early. This time, the number was saved. Jessica, Sam answered quickly. Good morning, Ma. Good morning, Sam, Jessica said. How are you? I am fine, Ma, Sam lied. I want you to come in today, Jessica said. There are documents to discuss. Sam hesitated. Ma, is it safe? He asked quietly. Jessica paused. Why do you ask? She said. Sam swallowed. I received a message yesterday. A threat. There was silence on the line. Then Jessica's voice became serious. Send it to me, she said. Sam forwarded the message immediately. Jessica took a moment. This confirms my fears, she said. Sam, someone inside our circle is leaking information. Sam's chest tightened. And that person knows about me, Sam said. Yes, Jessica replied, which is why you must not move alone anymore. Sam frowned. Ma? I will send security, Jessica said. You will be picked up and dropped off. Until we understand what is happening. Sam's heart sank. This was becoming too real. Yes, Ma, he said. At Jessy Group that day, Sam felt eyes on him everywhere. Some staff smiled politely, others whispered. He heard his name once or twice as he walked past offices. Who is he? That new man. Why is Madam so interested in him? Sam kept his head down. In Jessica's office, documents were spread across the table. These are logistics reports, Jessica explained. Transport routes, fuel costs, delays. Sam studied them carefully. Without realizing it, he began pointing things out. This route wastes time, he said. This fuel estimate is too low. Drivers will complain. Jessica watched him closely. You really know this work, she said. Sam nodded. I lived it, Ma. Jessica smiled faintly. For the first time since they met, her guard dropped a little. Sam, she said softly, Do you know how many people smile at me but would sell me if given the chance? Sam did not answer. Power attracts snakes, Jessica continued. Kindness attracts danger. Sam looked at her. Then why are you still kind? Jessica's smile faded. Because my mother raised me that way, she said. The mention of Madam Olivia brought silence between them. How is she today? Sam asked. Jessica's eyes softened. She is better, but she keeps asking about you. Sam was surprised. Me? She says you remind her of someone, Jessica said. Someone she lost. Sam did not know what to say. Later that afternoon, Sam was leaving the building when he noticed something strange. A man standing across the street. Dark clothes. Cap pulled low. The man pretended to be on his phone, but his eyes were fixed on Sam. Sam's steps slowed. His heartbeat thundered in his ears. The man turned away just as security opened the car door for Sam. Inside the car, Sam's hands shook. Did you see that man? Sam asked the driver quietly. The driver glanced in the mirror. Which man, sir? Sam looked back. The man was gone. Sam swallowed hard. That evening, Sam was taken to a quiet private hospital. Jessica stood outside a room, arms crossed. My mother is inside, she said. She insisted on seeing you. Sam nodded nervously and entered. Madam Olivia lay on the bed, looking cleaner and calmer, but still fragile. When she saw Sam, her face lit up. My son, she exclaimed. Sam rushed forward. Madam Olivia, how are you feeling? She smiled. Better, because I am alive. She held his hand tightly. Thank you, she said. You saved my life. Sam shook his head. I only helped. Madam Olivia looked at him deeply. No, she said, you chose kindness when fear was easier. Her words sent a chill through Sam. Madam Olivia lowered her voice. Sam, she whispered, do you know why they released me? Sam stiffened. No, Ma. They thought I was useless, she said. They thought my daughter would not pay. Sam frowned. But she is rich. Madam Olivia smiled sadly. They wanted to punish her, she said, to scare her, to send a message. Sam's chest tightened. And now, Madam Olivia continued, they are watching you. Sam's heart nearly stopped. You know? He whispered. Madam Olivia nodded slowly. I heard them talk, she said. They mentioned a driver, a poor man. They laughed. Sam's skin went cold. They said, Madam Olivia paused, swallowing. They said if anything goes wrong, they will deal with the driver. Sam felt dizzy. Jessica stepped closer. Mama, rest, she said gently. Madam Olivia squeezed Sam's hand one last time. Be careful, my son, she whispered. Kind hearts suffer first. That night, Sam returned home under security watch, but even with guards nearby, he did not feel safe. As he lay in bed, his phone vibrated again. Another message. Unknown. Last warning. Sam's fingers trembled. Unknown. Leave Jessy group or suffer. Sam stared at the screen, his chest rising fast. He typed slowly. Sam, I only helped an old woman. The reply came seconds later. Unknown. That is your mistake. Sam dropped the phone. At that moment, a loud knock hit his door. Bang, bang, bang. Sam sat up, frozen. The knocking came again, harder. Sam, a voice shouted from outside, open the door. Sam's heart slammed against his ribs. It was not the voice of his neighbor. It was not security. It was unfamiliar, threatening. Sam's eyes moved to the window. Shadows shifted outside, more than one person. His breathing became shallow. Who is there? Sam asked, his voice barely steady. No answer. Instead, the handle began to turn. Sam's whole body froze as the door handle turned slowly. Not fast, not rushed. Slow, like whoever was outside wanted him to feel every second of fear. His heart pounded so loud he was sure they could hear it. Sam, the voice called again, deeper now, open this door. Sam backed away until his legs hit the bed. His eyes searched the room for something, anything to defend himself with. The only things he saw were his small table, a plastic chair, and his old bag. Another knock landed. Bang! The door shook. Sam swallowed hard. God, he whispered, please. Just then another voice shouted from outside. Security, step back from the door. There was a sudden rush of movement, heavy footsteps, voices clashing. Sam's ears rang. "What is going on?" someone yelled. Before Sam could think, loud pounding sounds followed, boots hitting the ground, hands slamming walls. "Down, down," a man shouted. Then silence, sudden, thick silence. Sam stood there shaking, his chest rising and falling fast. "Sam," a familiar voice called. "It's okay now. Open the door slowly." It was one of the security men Jessica had assigned. Sam's legs felt weak, but he forced himself forward and unlocked the door. When he opened it, the sight outside made his knees almost give way. Two men lay face down on the ground, their hands behind their backs. They were not from his community. They wore dark clothes. Their faces were hard, cold, and unfamiliar. Security officers stood over them, guns drawn. One of the officers turned to Sam. "Are you hurt?" he asked. Sam shook his head slowly. "No, no," he said. "Who are they?" The officer's face was serious. "They didn't say much," he replied. "But they were waiting for you." Sam felt a cold wave move through him. Waiting, not breaking in. Waiting. That meant they knew his movements. They knew when he came home. They knew where he lived. The officer continued, "Madam Jessica wants to see you immediately." That night, Sam did not ride in silence. The SUV drove fast through the city, lights flashing, security alert. Sam sat between two officers, his hands clasped together tightly. His mind replayed everything. Madam Olivia's warning, the messages, the man watching him earlier. It all connected now. This was not random. This was planned. When they arrived at Jessica's private residence, Sam noticed how tense everything felt. Guards stood at every corner, gates opened and closed quickly. Jessica was already waiting in the living room. She stood up the moment she saw Sam. "Are you okay?" she asked sharply. "Yes, Ma," Sam replied. "Thanks to your security." Jessica clenched her jaw. "They crossed a line," she said. She turned to one of the officers. "Where are the men?" "Handed over to the police unit working with us," the officer replied. "They're refusing to talk." Jessica nodded once. Then she looked at Sam again. "I'm sorry," she said quietly. Sam was surprised. "Ma, I pulled you into this," Jessica said. "You only wanted to help my mother." Sam shook his head. "I don't regret it," he said honestly. "I would do it again." Jessica stared at him. For a moment she said nothing. Then she said softly, "You shouldn't be this brave." Sam gave a tired smile. "I don't think I'm brave. I'm just human." That answer stayed with her. Later that night, Sam was taken to a guest room inside the estate. "Stay here for now," Jessica instructed. "It's safer." Sam agreed. As he lay on the soft bed, staring at the ceiling, his body finally relaxed, but his mind didn't. Why him? Why a poor driver? Why would powerful people care so much about an old woman being helped? Sleep came in pieces. The next morning brought a new kind of tension. Jessica called Sam into her study. On the table were documents, a laptop, and several phones. "We have a problem," she said. Sam sat quietly. "One of the men arrested last night talked," Jessica continued. "Just a little." Sam leaned forward. "He said they were sent to remind you," Jessica said, "to scare you away from us." "Who sent them?" Sam asked. Jessica's eyes darkened. "That's the problem," she said. "He used a nickname, someone inside my company." Sam's heart sank. "Inside?" he repeated. Jessica nodded. "Someone who knows my movements, my mother's movements, and now yours." Sam felt a chill. "That means," he began. "Yes," Jessica finished. "This person sees you as a threat." Sam frowned. "But I don't know anything." Jessica looked at him carefully. "You know kindness," she said, "and sometimes that is enough to expose evil." She slid a file toward him. "This is your employment letter," she said, "head of logistics." Sam stared at it. "I still want you here," Jessica said firmly, "now more than ever." Sam hesitated. "Ma," he said slowly, "if I stay, I may bring more danger." Jessica stood up and walked closer. "Sam," she said, "danger already exists. Running will not stop it." She paused. "And I trust you." Those words hit Sam deeper than the threats ever did. Over the next few days, Sam's life changed fast. He moved fully into the estate. He started working closely with Jessica. He noticed things others ignored. Routes that didn't make sense, supplies delayed on purpose, fuel money missing. At first he thought it was mistakes, then he realized it was sabotage. One afternoon, while reviewing transport logs, Sam noticed a name repeating. The same supervisor, always linked to delays, always linked to missing trucks. Sam's chest tightened. He showed Jessica quietly. She studied the file. "That's Mr. Kohler," she said, "one of my oldest staff." Sam looked up. "Does he know about your mother?" Jessica nodded slowly. "Yes," she said. "He arranged her driver that day." Silence fell between them. Jessica closed the file. "We need proof," she said. Sam nodded. That evening, Sam was walking through the estate garden when he noticed someone standing near the fence. A woman. She looked familiar. As she turned, Sam's breath caught. It was the same woman who had once shouted at Madam Olivia weeks ago in Banana Island. One of the neighbors who had ignored her. "What is she doing here?" Sam murmured. The woman noticed him and quickly looked away. Sam's instincts screamed. He turned back toward the house, but his phone buzzed. A message. "Unknown. You are getting too close." Sam stopped walking. "Unknown. Next time, no warning." Before he could reply, another message came. "Unknown. Ask Madam Olivia who betrayed her." Sam's hands shook. He turned sharply and saw the woman by the fence was gone. Sam's heart raced. He walked quickly inside and found Jessica. "She knows," Sam said urgently. "Whoever it is, they know we are close." Jessica's face hardened. "And they're afraid," she said. Just then, a maid rushed in, panic on her face. "Madam," she cried, "Madam Olivia collapsed." Jessica spun around. "What?" She was speaking. Then she held her chest and fell, the maid said. She kept saying a name. "A name." Jessica grabbed her arm. "What name?" she demanded. The maid's voice shook. She said, "Kohler." Sam's stomach dropped. Jessica staggered back, shock flooding her face. At that exact moment, alarms began to ring across the estate. Security radios crackled. "Madam," an officer shouted, "we have an intruder alert at the back gate." Jessica looked at Sam. Sam looked back. Both of them understood at the same time the enemy was not running anymore. They were attacking. The alarm screamed through the estate like a warning from the sky. Red lights flashed. Security boots thundered across the compound. Jessica did not waste a second. "Lock the estate," she ordered. "Nobody leaves. Nobody enters." Sam stood frozen for half a heartbeat, then forced himself to move. "Madam Olivia," he said urgently, "I need to see her." Jessica nodded sharply. "Come." They ran down the hallway toward the medical wing where Madam Olivia had been moved. Along the way, Sam's mind raced. Kohler, the name echoed in his head, the same man linked to missing trucks, the same man trusted for years, the same man close enough to know everything. They reached the room. Doctors were working fast. Machines beeped. Madam Olivia lay pale on the bed, oxygen on her face. Jessica rushed to her side. "Mama," she whispered, "I'm here." Madam Olivia's eyes fluttered open slightly. She saw Sam. Her fingers twitched weakly. "Sam," she whispered. Sam stepped closer and held her hand gently. "Yes, Ma. I'm here." Her breathing was shallow. "He betrayed us," she murmured. "I heard his voice. The day they took me." Jessica leaned closer, tears filling her eyes. "Kohler?" she asked. Madam Olivia nodded slowly. "He wanted control," she whispered. "Your company. Your fear." Her eyes moved back to Sam. "You were not supposed to help me," she said weakly, "but you did. And that is why God used you." Tears slid down Sam's face. "Please don't talk," he begged. "You'll be fine." Madam Olivia smiled faintly. "Kindness always finds its way home," she whispered. Her hand relaxed. The heart monitor steadied. "She's stable," the doctor said, "but she needs rest." Jessica closed her eyes and exhaled. Outside the room, chaos continued. Security rushed back and forth. "Madam," a senior officer reported, "the intruder was caught trying to escape through the staff gate." "Bring him," Jessica said coldly. Minutes later, they dragged a man into the security room. It was Kohler. His expensive shirt was torn. His face was twisted with anger, not fear. Jessica stood before him, calm but dangerous. "You betrayed my family," she said. Kola laughed bitterly. You were too soft, he snapped. You trusted people too much. Jessica's voice was steady. You kidnapped my mother. I didn't plan to hurt her, Kola said. I just needed leverage. Sam stepped forward, unable to stay silent. She sat at my door crying. Sam said quietly, You left her to die. Kola turned and looked at Sam with hatred. You, he hissed. You ruined everything. Sam met his gaze. No, Sam said. Your greed did. Security dragged Kola away as police sirens wailed outside. Jessica turned to Sam. It's over, she said softly. He's confessed. We recorded everything. Sam felt his knees weaken. Over. The word felt unreal. Days passed. The estate calmed. News broke quietly, without drama, without headlines. Kola was arrested. The kidnapping ring was exposed. Madam Olivia slowly recovered. One afternoon, Sam was called to Jessica's office again. But this time the atmosphere was different, warm, peaceful. Jessica stood by the window, looking out at the city. You saved my mother, she said, not turning around. Sam shook his head. I only helped. Jessica turned and smiled gently. That help cost you your safety, she said. Your peace. She walked back to her desk and picked up her phone. Do you remember the first night I called you? She asked. Sam nodded. You were scared, she said, but you still stood firm. She placed the phone down. Sam, she said, my mother asked me something this morning. Sam looked up. She asked why a man with so little could give so much. Jessica continued. I didn't know how to answer. Sam smiled faintly. Because kindness is free. Jessica laughed softly, then grew serious. Sam, she said, I want you to stop living like a visitor in your own life. She slid a document across the table. This is not just a job offer, she said. This is permanent. Sam looked down. It was an official appointment letter. Head of Logistics, Jessy Group of Companies with full benefits, housing, security, and a salary Sam had never imagined. His breath caught. Ma, he whispered. You earned it, Jessica said. Not because you saved my mother, but because you proved who you are. Sam's hands trembled as he signed. Weeks later, Sam moved out of his one-room apartment. Not because he was ashamed of it, but because life had opened a new door. He visited his old community often. He still greeted Mama Bose. He still smiled at children. He never forgot where he came from. Madam Olivia insisted on seeing him one last time before returning fully home. When Sam entered her room, she smiled widely. My son, she said, you look different. Sam laughed. You made it possible. She shook her head. No, she said, you chose goodness. She held his hand. One day, she said gently, my daughter will call you family. Sam blushed. Jessica stood by the door, watching quietly. Their eyes met. Something unspoken passed between them. Respect, trust. Something deeper, but unforced. For the first time, Sam did not feel small. That evening, Sam sat alone in his new apartment. The city lights glowed outside his window. His phone rang. This time, the number was saved. Jessica. He smiled and answered. Hello, Ma. Sam, Jessica said warmly. Thank you. For what? He asked. For reminding me, she said, that kindness still exists. Sam leaned back and looked up at the ceiling. The same ceiling he once stared at in fear. Now his heart was calm. A poor driver had returned home and found an old woman at his door. He chose kindness. And days later, a billionaire didn't just call. She changed his life. What is your view about this story? Where are you watching from? If you enjoyed this story, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel for more interesting stories.